So before I got a heat pump, so my heat pump was installed 2022. If you typed heat pump into YouTube around that time, there was nothing. There was Emilie. There was barely no one else on YouTube doing heat pumps. So Emilie is like the OG heat pump superstar.
It's completely by accident, to be honest. I had no idea it would blow up kind of how it did, if I'm honest. So and we just thought, why don't we, give it a go. We stuck a couple of videos out, and they kind of hit, which was we were not expecting it at all. And all of a sudden, we went from it's a company that nobody had heard of to all of a sudden people are watching one of our YouTube videos and calling us up saying, we've seen you on YouTube. And we were like, what the hell? What's going on here?
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Energy Unwrapped Podcast. Today's guest, I have Emilie Romain with me. So the great thing about being your own podcast host is you can ask people who you'd never thought you'd get the chance to talk to come on your podcast. So when we're not going to do the usual intros on this one because Emilie's intro is the story. The whole thing is the story. So, but I want to give some background. So before I got a heat pump, so my Llewellyn heat pump was installed 2022. In 2021, when I was researching this, because obviously I research things to death, if you typed heat pump into YouTube around that time, there was nothing. There was Emilie. There was barely no one else on YouTube doing heat pumps. So Emilie is like the OG heat pump superstar. So thank you for coming, Emilie.
Okay.
I don't want to embarrass you, but I hold you in high regard for being like that pioneer of being on YouTube in those early days.
Oh, thank you. I kind of want the ground to swallow me up. I'm really bad with compliments. I really, really am.
Please take them as they're intended. So, for those that never saw Emilie's videos, she appeared in full overalls, like exuding confidence and just pointing at these heat pumps that no one knew at the time what the hell they were, and just saying, these are amazing and I'm installing it in this person's house. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So let's talk. Can we talk through that sort of journey? How did you get to that point so early in what now is a sort of blossoming, booming industry?
Yeah, sure. It's completely by accident, to be honest. I had no idea it would blow up kind of how it did, if I'm honest. It was me and my business partner at the time thought, we've got to have a way to try and show off what we're doing that doesn't cost a lot of money in marketing. So we thought, why don't we just do some videos, and he's quite keen on videoing stuff, and I wasn't too bad in front of the camera as it goes, so it kind of worked. So we would go off and install these heat pumps. He's a qualified engineer, and I was like the engineer's mate, so I'll be the one hanging radiators, the one like in the floorboards, doing all the gross stuff, all the dirty bits, and all the outdoor work mostly. And we just thought, why don't we, we give it a go. We stuck a couple of videos out. And they kind of hit, which was we were not expecting it at all. And all of a sudden, we went from it's a company that nobody had heard of to all of a sudden people are watching one of our YouTube videos and calling us up saying, we've seen you on YouTube. And we were like, what the hell? What's going on here?
So this is like SEO and marketing, original, and it works now, as we've seen some of the people that we know now, like Urban Plumbers, Simon, and some of the amazing videos that are out there on heat pumps. It works. Lots of these good installers doing great, even solar, all these solar installers are showing great work, and it must attract customers. So
definitely. I just do
marketing
think,
is marketing.
Yeah, marketing is marketing, and we just thought, probably back when we started, the only marketing you would have got was I go flyers, or if you paid loads of people to do like Google ads and stuff for you. and we didn't have the money as a startup company, just didn't have that kind of budget. So doing that was amazing. And now you, like you said, you look at it now and they're everywhere. Like you can go to any like social platform now, and I've got like paid ads coming up for. I never would have like back in like 2019, 2020. I would never have got a solar advertisement up on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. No, it wouldn't be up on there. Now they're everywhere. I go, maybe it's because I'm into that kind of stuff. I see it more. To be honest, the algorithm knows that I look
it knows
at
you.
that.
Yeah. It's been listening.
Yeah, it's been listening. Yeah, but and it comes up all the time now, and you've got like so many more sort of like renewable influencers in the game now. They weren't about at the time, and there's loads of
they
people.
were. It's you were the influencer.
Yeah, I guess I helped kick it off, I guess, make it not so weird that people were talking about that, because people didn't, like you said, you were looking for videos, information about a heat pump, and you couldn't find any. But now, like, you know, it takes, you know, a couple of people to start a path, and everyone starts following, and it's great to see so many more people on that path now, and they're everywhere, which is cool.
Yeah. So your company then that you started with your business partner, that was Ecobubl.
Yeah.
So some people may have heard of that in the past.
They may have done. It wasn't the Samsung washing machine. It does share a name, but it was spelled differently.
Yeah, was it BUBL or something at the end?
Yeah.
I remember it. Yeah. So you were installing in your local area?
Yes, we just installed in our local area. Started off with heat pumps, and then we moved into solar and battery storage. Probably about 8 months to a year after that, we started doing those. Yeah.
So the customers were pioneers. That looking back, my sort of person, sort of been on that journey, solar in 2018, and then once they're into that electrification journey, it's I've got to
get the bug. Yeah,
get the bug. What's next? Yeah. So really, you had like a captive audience and an easy sort of customer base once they got one piece.
Yeah, they wanted the rest. So they get the heat pump and they're thinking, well, how can I help run this heat pump? And you think, well, you know, you've got a massive roof there. Why don't you go and whack some solar on that? And then, you know, that will help offset the amount of electricity your heat pump's costing. And, you know, why not go one step further and get a battery so you can save some more energy? And, yeah, you know, because although, like, the heat pump isn't primarily used too much in the summertime, it's still used for your hot water. We don't generally have your heating on unless you're mad or you're a very cool person. I don't know. So it kind of offsets. You won't spend that much money in the summertime, but you will spend a bit more in the winter, and it will even itself out. Lots of people did like that.
So did Ecobubl start as a well, the name probably gives it away. Did it start with the sole intention of being heat pumps and renewables?
It started off, the main focus when we first started it was we were actually going to try and be a distributor of renewables, so and training centre, kind of what we had in our heads, but it didn't work out that way because the company was set up in March 2020, and that's obviously when the big COVID thing happened.
Yeah, you can't do much hands-on training during COVID.
Yeah, so like we'd started this business, like, oh great, now like this has happened, but it was kind of a blessing in disguise, I guess. Because everybody just all of a sudden had more money because they weren't going out and spending it anymore. So they were like, what can we do?
It's out to help out.
Our house. So kind of saw that gap in the market and think, you know, well, let's install them. And then we did that together. So I learned loads. I didn't previously come from a renewables background. I previously worked in the pet care trade. So It's completely different to what I did then. But customer facing and all that was really good. I still had lots of that from my previous experience. And I'm a quick learner, quite hands-on. So that also worked out great, I guess. I think that's how it happened, really.
I think the point that you made there, maybe we'll come back to that later, about that customer facing side. I did a podcast with Rhiannon.
I did see that,
Yeah, and she talked about her being a woman and being in that customer facing, lots of women really took to her knocking on their door and was like, wow,
it was amazing. People would turn up and go, oh, you know, you actually did them. We thought, you know, you were just some face. Like, no, I do work here.
How dare you? So I need to dig into this pet care to helping fit heat pumps. Then how did that sort of come
I was just, I
about?
think I was in the pet care trade for like 13 years and I was getting a bit, itchy feet. I've been in a while because it suited me at the time. I was a teenage mum. So I still am, I guess. Well, I'm not a teenager anymore, but I was then. I still have a mum. So like working there was really good because it was really good around my childcare and stuff. And I thought, you know what, she's growing up now and I want to try something new. And a job came up at a local Renewables distributor. We're looking for a general manager. So I went in for the job and got the job, very lucky. And I learned a lot from there. And it's from there, my business partner actually owned the place that I got that job at. And he said, do you want to have a go at doing this, us two? And I was like, all right, then I reckon. I just went for the plunge, just went for it. I don't know why. I was quite spontaneous. So, okay. I just did it. Let's go. So, I went from being very safe in a job to like jumping and then jumping again, just getting the itch. Like, let's go. It was
so what about the plumbing side of it? Was that part of the original plan, or did you just go into plumbing and thought? Did you go on training and what was the journey there? I did have training
of sorts. I was kind of trained at the time by my co-director. So he's a fully qualified heating engineer.
Yeah.
So basically, I kind of had, I guess, training from him on site. Basically, we went for the first job, and I was like, right, what do you want me to do? And I just, started hanging radiators and putting antifreeze valves in, and all that kind of stuff. Then he would do the more complicated bits, and I would do the more laboury bits.
almost like an apprentice.
Yes, I was doing like an apprentice stuff, which is cool. So I learned loads. And I guess in my head, I thought it was going to be so complicated, but actually, it's just pipes, isn't it? Really, it's just you're following where the flow goes. Eventually, you figure it out in your head.
So, did you take that any further then, Emily? Did you go and get formally trained or any qualifications, or were you happy just being like
I had my water regs done for like the hot water for the cylinders. I had that done, but that's kind of as far as I went with that. I did do other training, so I did training to be a retrofit EPC assessor because I really liked the sort of going into the houses and seeing what renewables you can have, and I really liked that, so I did that as further training.
You're a bit nosy.
I like being nosy. I look around the house going, I wonder what they do for work. Looking at the books on the shelf.
I'm supposed to be recording what this wall's made of, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I think that there's definitely a role for that in renewables, that particular role. I think there's too many jobs in the whole process. There's too many jobs for like one person.
Yeah.
Sole traders are expected to do heat loss surveys, full design, installation, electrics, DNO applications. There's a massive sort of piece to it all. And maybe moving forward, if we are going to scale like we want to scale, that maybe it becomes individually skilled roles.
Yeah, I do think
assessor.
Yeah, having some like a jack of all trades is good. I think you do need people who can, duck and dive into the different areas. You definitely need those people, but you do need people who are very good at the one job as well. To take some of the flack as well. Really. Like I think there's got to be some doing everything is way too stressful.
I think there's got to be some trust between all those sort of roles, and I think sole traders like the control because they are they trust their own work.
Yeah, if it goes wrong, it's their fault. They can't blame anybody else.
I think there's a lot in the moment that if someone goes out and does a heat loss survey, and that sole trader has done it himself, it's he owns that, or he or she owns that, and if something's gone wrong, it's their fault.
Yeah.
But if they were trusting figures from somebody else, would they trust them? They'd probably go out and do it again just to be sure that it was there. So I think there's scope somewhere to, I don't know, create some sort of certification or something that you can have a trusted heat loss. But I think
there's definitely room for people who just go out, and there are people who do that just as a job. I
suppose there's like EPC assessors, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's sort of taking an EPC to the next level to actually make it useful. Sorry.
Yeah,
Ooh, sorry.
honestly, I don't do the EPC. I do the retrofit stuff, so it's slightly different. But yeah,
Yeah.
honestly,
So,
like, I read through some EPCs that I've seen in the past. I'm like, everything is assumed. They're like, they don't look at anything. Nothing is
well,
properly looked
when
at.
it's such a low cost item,
Yeah,
how can any value or quality be put to such a low cost item where they just run round and have a quick look and
yeah,
away
exactly.
they go.
Yeah, they have changed some things. Like the RDSAP 10 has come in.
Yes.
I think end of last year. So some bits have got better.
Yeah.
But yeah, the EPCs are still not. I don't know. I wouldn't take them as like this is how eco efficient your house is and like gospel that is. You know, I wouldn't.
Yeah. So on the retrofit assessor, then were you going in with a view to helping the homeowner look at insulation levels and look at
Yeah, and like what renewable technologies would fit best in their house. You also have to be sort of empathetic to the building as well. So if it's an older building, you know, would that actually be viable? Because, you know, if you've got a lovely old Victorian building and it's got a lovely tiled roof and you think, oh yeah, I want a whack load of solar on it, actually it's not the best for that house. But, you know, if you go to like the 50s or whatever, you think that's just a concrete tile or whatever, and you think, yeah, that would be great, and that would bring the, you know, your energy efficiency down or up in your house, and yeah, that would work really well. So it's looking at bits and bobs like that, and the insulation as well, making sure that that's sympathetic into the building, and can it have that insulation out? Does that be external, internal? Lots of different things. I prefer the retrofit stuff. It's more in depth and I'm more nosy.
Well, you'd hope that new builds would look after themselves, but that's not always been the case. Some
new builds. Someone told me new builds are guaranteed for 50 years, but I have no idea if that's true. I haven't actually looked. I was like, I want to buy one of them.
I did an episode recently about with Nigel Banks from Octopus about the future home standard and what that is going to entail with regards to solar and no gas boilers, and that was really interesting. And fingers crossed that new builds are actually going to be not just have 2 solar panels on a roof.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we've got a new estate being built near us, and there was either some with 4 and some with 2 panels, and I'm like, what is that doing?
It ticks a box. That's what it's doing.
It does, and that's a shame that it is a tick box exercise in some places. In the building industry at the moment, which is a shame. So
going back to Ecobubl then, so did the training facility ever come to fruition after COVID?
It did for a little bit. We did manage to get LCL accreditation at one point, and we were really proud of it. But unfortunately, we did lose our trainer. And with the trainer went the LCL standard, which is a shame. But yeah, we did manage to. We did still carry on doing training, but it was manufacturers training. So we did the training for Daikin. So we became a Daikin Sustainable Home Centre.
Yeah, I always remember seeing you with a Daikin, pointing at a Daikin.
Yeah, I do like Daikins.
Well, you were like the early promoter for them. That they should like you.
No, I do like them, and I do like the people who work there as well. So I still talk to a lot of the people from Daikin, and they are really nice people. But yeah, that we did installer training instead. So my business partner would do the level 1 training for Daikin, and then I would do sort of like training for the Stand By Me, which is their sort of heat loss calculation program. So I would do that with the engineers and show them how to use the software, and then he would show them how to commission a unit, say things like that.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. So it's still, even though COVID came along, it still provided some value. It wasn't just a empty room for
and it was open to the public as well, so you could just rock on up and just have a look, and we'd go around and show you like this is what the heat pump size is, this is what you're going to need in your property.
I remember seeing some of the videos where you had quite an extensive showroom.
Yeah, we had quite a big. It was a showroom training room upstairs, and downstairs was just a showroom, and we also had some storage in there as well. But yeah, it was great. So in the early days, people used to come in and say, "Oh, can you turn one on?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And they showed them how to use the controls and how loud it was, and it was really good for the homeowners to see, because unless you've got a friend who's got a heat pump, they don't know how big it is really.
Yeah. Like even roll forward now, I'm probably the only person out of my group of friends who've got one, and we're in 2026 now. Back then, 2020, 2021, Yeah,
there's still not many around. I think there's only a couple where I am. There's not loads. Yeah.
So I think one of your videos was the first place I ever saw a mixergy cylinder as well.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you had an early sort of link up with them.
Yeah, yeah, they were good. I still like mixture. I think they still have a place in the market. But
I've got one. I've got one.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah,
You like it? My
yeah,
sister just had one
yeah.
installed
It's
actually.
really
She
good.
loves hers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just having the app and it telling you 24% remaining. Perfect.
Yeah.
It's just, why would you
Yeah.
not want to know exactly how much water you've got left?
Yeah, exactly. My sister's just had one installed, and my other sister has she's got a electric boiler, which because it's a flat electric boiler,
Yeah.
but she's having hopefully that removed, and she's going to have still has to have an electric boiler, unfortunately, but she's going to have a separate cylinder, and she's looking to have a mixergy for
yeah.
hers, which will work really really well in her flat actually.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
So earlier I spoke about the episode I did with Rhiannon, where we talked about women in renewables. So I'd like to touch on that a bit.
Yeah.
So the first thing I need to mention is I found that you were nominated for Swindon and Wiltshire's Most Inspiring Woman of 2024.
I didn't know that I was nominated for that until so I think someone tried to get hold of me via the phone, and I was like, "Who is this? I don't know who it is." I still don't know who put my name forward either. I have no idea.
So
nice
did you end up winning it, or was it just a
No,
nomination?
I didn't win it. No,
Oh.
I didn't. Actually, I didn't win it, but my name was
Gutted.
put forward, and I was like, "Wow, what an honour!" But I still don't know who put my name forward. But yeah, whoever it was, thank you. It's very nice of you. Much appreciated.
What an honour that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I seen it. I think yeah, it was someone called the office and went, "Oh, they're from this," and I was like, "I don't know what they're talking about." And then then I searched at Google online. I was like, "Oh my god, my face is there." With the worst photo of me as well. I look so butchered. I think it's shortly after my rugby days, and I've still got that quite strong physique. And I'm like,
Brilliant.
oh,
So
yeah.
you being the face of Ecobubl and then being on video, as well as being unique that it was about heat pumps, being a woman fronting up a video like that must have been very unique in what is essentially the plumbing world, was a very male dominated sort of area.
Yeah, no, it was weird because there wasn't many, but there's so many now, which is great to see.
Yeah.
There's loads of girls in it now, which I absolutely love. But yeah, there wasn't many when I'm thinking about going back to it. Like I look around, and the only other lady that I actually met in the heating industry was a lady. I think she's called Danielle, and she worked for LCL.
Right.
When we go for the quotation, she was a fully qualified plumber, and she was the first lady that I ever met. And I was like, wow. Yeah, and she'd been in it for ages though, because I think she was doing it in the 90s, and I would have been a kid back then. But yeah, she was doing it then, so she probably would have been absolutely weird for her, because not weird, but more unusual for her.
Yeah.
Because how far away that was from when I was doing it. But yeah, there's loads now, which is amazing. But
Yeah.
it was strange. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
because
a lot of blokes.
we met a few weeks ago, didn't we, at the heat pump
Yeah.
show, and the amount of women there was it was great. It was great to see, and but it's definitely not a male sort of dominated industry. It's
Yeah.
definitely changing, and I
100%.
like, my daughter's 16, and I always think, is that something that ultimately a 16-year-old woman could get into these days? And you would
Yeah.
hope now that there's opportunities right across the piece. If they want to be a heating engineer and a plumber, they can be, and if they want to do retrofit or assessors, or they want to be somewhere in that
Yeah.
chain, they can be.
Yeah. No, 100%. I love it, and I think it is becoming more mainstream now. I think girls. Sometimes I think girls are probably more likely to get the job because they're girls, because good on them. They should.
Yeah, but as we said earlier, as Rhiannon said,
Yeah.
there's a place for a different face
Yeah.
knocking on a door, and a different reaction, and
Yeah,
and
exactly. Because same like with Rhiannon, really, I'd knock on the door and people go, "Oh wow, it's a," and they sometimes feel a bit more at ease with you,
yeah,
don't they? I'm not saying that men are all frightening and
Yeah.
oh my god, don't come to my house, but sometimes it's nice to see a female face as a different, and maybe as because they can feel they can relate to them easier, especially if you're knocking on a door of a lady. Sometimes it's easier for them.
yeah.
Yeah, than a big butch burly man who carries cylinders around all day, you know.
Yeah. and I know some of those butch burly men who aren't particularly great at translating the technical that they know into the homeowner speak that is that translating.
That's another thing that we put a lot of pride into, is trying to explain it in a way which everyone could understand. They didn't feel scared about it, because a lot of people, I think, try to maybe gatekeep the renewables industry by keeping it very technical.
Yeah.
And you can't do it, blah, 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 and then people go, I have no idea what you're talking about. But if you just speak it in, like, you know, layman's terms, what that does is this, and people go, oh, I didn't know that, and then all of a sudden everyone can understand it and it becomes more popular.
Yeah. So is that what in those early YouTube days then? Was that your approach? Was, as well as just marketing, it was like keeping it simple?
Yes, 100%. It was keeping it simple, because you want more people to be engaged. One, in the content, so that they watch it, I guess, and two, you want them to use us as an installer. So you want them to feel confident and comfortable with us. You don't want them thinking we've got some eggheads around here who know everything, and they feel quite intimidated by that. You want them to feel at ease, really, and comfortable with what they're having, because it's an expensive purchase. Having that in your house, so you want to make sure that you feel comfortable understanding what it is that's going in, not just there's this crazy spaceship outside and I don't know what it does.
That's a brilliant way of putting it. So with the filming then, as a newcomer to YouTube myself, I find it really hard to like talk to camera, creating scripts and what am I going to talk about, and I'm going was it off the cuff for yourself, or did you script it?
We would have a script, but a lot of it would be off the cuff, because I'm awful at keeping things in my head. So it'd be like, oh, say this, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to say this instead, like blah, 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 blah. We change it all the time. It would never be like, there would be like some kind of framework, like we're going to talk about this today, and then it'd just be all off the cuff, because I'm awful with scripts. I really am.
Me too. Now I've got it down to basically like 3 or 4 bullet points on a screen, and I'll just talk to that.
Yes, that's exactly how I
just
like
keep me on track a little bit, and then I'll just try and weave my way through these bullet points.
I think it's the best way. You get more of an honest response, don't you?
In the very early ones of the videos, I did write a script in front of me, and I was basically just reading it like this. I'm just like, no, Mick, that's not going to work. It's unnatural. No one wants to watch a video of you reading something off the screen.
Somebody might, I don't know.
Somebody might, yeah. So was there a lot of editing that went on with the content, or did you just nail it and it was all good?
No, I several fluff ups, but we used to put our fluff ups at the end, just so you could see what we did wrong and have a little giggle, I guess.
Were you doing the editing?
No, I didn't do the editing. No, my business partner did the editing, because it was his camera. So I just did all the fun stuff in the front, like, be all crazy. And then he'd come back like half an hour later, go, what about this? We're like, cool, stick it on, stick it online. And then we didn't use my co-director. We also used one of my friends now from the Fully Charged show. So he said, if you want to do some more, I can do them for you. So the really good edited ones are the ones that he's done. Right. You can tell the difference. So he's got all like the fun gadgets, and he can do all this cool stuff. It's what he does for a living. So
So back then, did you realise at the time that there was no one else sort of?
I didn't realise at the time. No, I mean I knew about the everything. Well, it's called Fully Charged back then. So I knew about the Fully Charged show, but that was mostly car heavy, and they did a little bit on home energy, but it's mostly electric car heavy, which is fun. That's what it primarily was made for, I guess. That was what Rob was originally interested in.
It was, and I think because you. So did you get on the Fully Charged show then because of that link with the person doing the videos for you? Or was it the other way?
No, other way around. Yeah, so I met Ben through the Fully Charged show, because he wasn't even the guy who did the videoing when I worked with them. He was on the car side.
Right.
We got in touch probably like maybe a year and a half ago when I stopped working for Fully Charged. Yeah, and then we just kept chatting really, and then he started doing stuff for the videos for Ecobubl as well. So cool. Which is fun.
Yeah, so if you search for Emilie on on YouTube you can find her speaking with Robert Llewellyn about a few things, and it was like did was that like, did you think, wow, this is a bit surreal, and have I made it?
The first time when I interviewed him, when we had our open day at Ecobubl, and that was like a huge day. I was so nervous. I couldn't believe how nervous I was. And he rocked up because we asked him to open our centre for us.
And he did.
He came and did it, and I was like, oh, can we do an interview with you? And then, oh my God, I was so nervous. I couldn't eat all day. I was like, my belly was churning. And he goes, oh, you're so good at this. Oh, I'd be all fluffing on sick, and you have no idea. Like I am, there's one on top, and I'm drowning underneath. I was so nervous. But anyway, I did interview him, and it went okay. And I think it's from then I think they thought, oh, maybe we should see if Emilie wants to do some stuff for the home energy side for the fully charged. So I think that's where that came from. And yeah, I went over and I did a few videos with them and a few shows as well, which was really fun. Yeah, well, it was a really fun time. Yeah. I
seem to link that time again, Mixergy, like, because Robert got a Mixergy. I did some stuff
with Mixergy with the fully charged show as well. Yes, I went down to Mixergy's headquarters down there. Yeah, and saw the new stuff. They had the new heat pump cylinder that was in the back, like all hidden away, and it was all, I was like, ooh.
I have been in their place, and it's like an ongoing experiment. There's like half cut open things bubbling away, and
they got that fridge shed where they do all the testing.
It's like a shipping container that they just take down to like minus 40 degrees or something, and test things are still working.
So it's pretty
they
cool.
Definitely seem like a very experimental. We'll just try anything and just see what comes out the other end, which is really cool.
Yeah, it does still feel very startup-y, and I kind of like that because I think they can be quite spontaneous in what they do.
Yeah, you're not having to get approval and stuff. Oh, I need to. So and so needs to approve
the head of department
this.
hasn't got back to this section yet. And
and it's like, well, sod that. I've just blown some up over here. It didn't work. We're not going to do that again.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. That would be great for the homeowners. No. I don't think that'll sell.
Sorry to interrupt. If you're enjoying this episode, please consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help us grow. Also, if you are considering a heat pump, I'm building out my own trusted heat pump installer list. Along with that list, you can also find a useful guide about how to choose a heat pump installer. I've created this using my years of experience of knowing what good looks like. I will put a link in the show notes, or just search Energy Stats Trusted Heat Pump Installer. Thank you very much, and back to the episode. So you said earlier on you were a teenage mum, but when I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, you said you'd had time off for a baby.
Yeah, so I've had two babies. I have one who is nearly 21 years old, and I have one who is 19 months old. Yeah.
Wow. Well, there's some free babysitting there straight away.
Yeah, exactly. What I thought I'd do is I raise one to adulthood, then have the next one. So just one at a time.
Crikey, I thought mine was bad with just 2 year difference with mine. So.
Yeah, there's 19 years between the two of them. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had one at 17.
I imagine you'd forgotten everything.
Hey.
I imagine you'd forgotten everything.
Everything was different. Yeah, everything was different. Like the sleeping arrangements, you can't have like bumpers on cots anymore, and you could back then. And the sterilising is all different. Food is different. What I could have done when I was pregnant is different as well. Like it's so much stuff. I was told I wasn't allowed to eat peanuts when I was pregnant, and this time I'm like, yeah, you can eat peanuts. I'm like, okay. What? It's all changed.
I don't remember the peanuts advice. Maybe that's mine. Are 40.
It might just be me as a teenager going, I can't eat this. I don't know. It was so long ago. I've forgotten a lot.
Yeah, but mine are 14 and 16. So yeah, I've forgotten everything. So
yeah, it's so long ago. Yeah.
So what was it? A good break from sort of renewables, and then you were keen to sort of get back into it in some way?
Yeah, so after I had my second baby, I guess my business unfortunately didn't survive, and I had to let it go, which is a sad time. And just having a new baby at the same time as well, it was a lot of stress to take on. So I took a step back for a while just to get to know my baby, myself, and start something new again. So I did that, and it's the last few months been going back into work again. So you see me at the heat pump show and stuff. So yeah, I've been getting back into it again, and it's been really fun actually, seeing all the new people in the industry and all the new tech that's come out as well, which is really cool. There's lots of new stuff, which just being out for that short amount of time, loads has happened. It's mad,
Even just a few years, you think it's there's a big difference in tech and people, and what did leaving it and then coming back to it look like?
I think it was more exciting coming back to it because people seem to have more of an open mind to it. Whereas before, I remember people saying, "Oh, heat pumps, you want a cold house, you want a high electric bills, you go ahead and get one installed. They're rubbish." But now, like I call people up and say, "Hey, are you interested in renewables and stuff?" And they go, "Yeah, I've been thinking about it for ages. Oh, I really want to get into heat pumps." They're really excited about it, you know. And just talking to you about the heat pump show, and I was trying to see who wanted to come to the heat pump show and things. People were like, yeah, I can't wait, it's going to be amazing. I was thinking, God, they're generally really excited for this, like properly can't get enough of it. I'm like, okay. But people just, they love it now. And you've got all these young kids who are going into, I want to do this. I'm not going to bother doing my gas. I'm going to go straight in and get my F-gas. I'm going to do underfloor heating. I'm going to do air source heat pumps. They're getting into all the new technologies. I think they still should have gas because they might have to take some boilers out. So.
Hopefully.
They probably should still do their gas.
Part of the process obviously should be, but if you want to claim the bus grant, is boiler off and make that safe.
But you should still do that. But the buzz is amazing in the industry now, and that wasn't there when I first started. It was quite hard to get people to convert from having a combi boiler or an oil boiler, gas or oil, whatever, and get them over to renewables because they liked their oil boiler, even though they had a big oil drum in the garden that stank. They preferred that than having a heat pump. And you think, but the heat pump is smaller than your oil tank and it doesn't smell.
And it's quiet, and
it's quiet.
If you've got solar and battery and stuff, it costs a lot less to run. Exactly,
and it was maybe you get some people who are obviously very keen, and that's the ones that we put the heat pumps and stuff in. But some people, it was very hard to show them the good side of the heat pumps, because unfortunately bad news can spread faster than good news.
Still does,
and you get a bad install, and that story can travel far.
But I suppose going back to your original videos, and then the people that have followed you by putting their videos out and their material, and is that we almost feel like we're always having to prove that it works.
That is a bad stigma that it still carries. You have to prove
but maybe there's now enough material, enough people saying the same thing, and with proof. Like I've got 7 or 8 years of solar stats that prove it works, and I've got 4 years of heat pump stats to prove it works. And I think the more like a body of evidence that we've got, it's just compelling, and you can't argue with stats and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You can have a poorly installed heat pump and it won't work properly. You can also have a poorly installed standard gas boiler on tiny little radiators or something, and it's not going to work. You just don't. There's lots of things that can go wrong, but like I said, bad news travels fast, unfortunately, and you do still have to prove that things work, which is sad because no one's going to ask you to prove, your Worcester Bosch boiler works. Nobody asked you to prove that.
So when we met at the heat pump show, they were queuing. We got there early. People were queuing to get in, and it was like you said, mad. Like I bumped into you. I think was only in there 5 minutes, and then you thrust a camera in my face and started going, "We need to do some footage," because your job on the day was going around interviewing people for Midsummer who organised the event. You were like a whirlwind. Every time I saw you, I had a microphone and talking to somebody.
It was me and the cameraman Tom. He was amazing. But it was that was fun actually, because only one person said no to talk to me, which is fine. That's not bad, considering we did like 40 interviews that
Did
day.
you?
Yeah, my
Wow.
voice was so harsh.
Oh, but I'd
But,
gone. Yeah,
yeah,
I'd gone because I did the talk on the stage. That was a bit
yeah,
nerve-wracking seeing all those people. Uh,
yeah.
but I did that, and then someone said to me, it was like LinkedIn but in real person.
Yeah, it was weird because the networking was really great actually.
Yeah.
I got to see loads of people I haven't seen for years,
Yeah.
which was great. So yeah, seeing what they were doing and yeah, talking to new people as well. Like the networking opportunity I thought was amazing for the heating industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be in that small venue again next year after
No,
the
I have
feedback
been
that,
told it's going to be like 3 times the
Is
size
it?
or something. Yeah. So yeah, it went so well that there's more and more people wanting stands. You couldn't get stands, and yeah. So hopefully it's going to be bigger. Might be 2 stages to talk on. Ooh, you might be on both.
hundreds of people.
Yeah, thousands.
Well, I'm hoping to get hold of the footage from that talk, and I'm going to put it out as a video so people can see how petrified I was.
It's because you all just sat on your stools really exposed. I think it made it worse. I think if you had
'cause
little chairs
when you
with some
see these,
water.
when you see these, like when I've seen the talks at like the installer show,
Yeah.
it's like at ground level on some comfy sofas, and there's a few
Yeah.
people stood around listening. But at the heat pump show, it was the stage was elevated. You were up high on these
Yeah.
chairs, and you were like you were up there to be shot. It
You were
was-
literally on a pedestal, like paraded, like look at the experts.
yeah,
Listen to them.
yeah. I think I'd much rather have been down with you, just running around talking to people. But it went all right. Although I did
Yeah.
find that because there were, I think it was Simon Roberts did the on mine. Simon Roberts did the comparing. It's not comparing, is it? That's like comedy. But, and there was like 4 of us speakers.
Mm.
I didn't like the bits where I wasn't talking.
Oh,
You know, like when, and now we'll go to somebody else, and I'm like,
No,
I could have just
I
talked.
want to interject there.
I could have just talked for an hour on my own, I think.
We should
Which
just
is
have
probably
one
why I
for you.
started my own podcast.
Yeah. Everyone else, if you could just shush. Listen. I got something you want to hear, all right.
So are you now doing a lot with Midsummer from a presenting point of view and
Yeah,
videoing
so
point of view?
I actually work for them. My title is a business development manager, but I also do some of their socials and stuff for them as well. So I do like presenting and things for them. They've got a show next week, the Solar Heavyweights in Bristol, so I'll be going down there as well and doing again like little interviews and stuff and like a little welcome speech, that kind of thing. So I do that kind of stuff for them. It's really fun. They're great. I do like them as a company.
Yeah. So
They're really nice.
So the lots of the interviews that you did at the Heat Pump Show was all clipped up, and then was that all for socials and
Yeah, so it's for social thing, and then if any of the companies wanted any of them for their own socials, they could just ask Midsummer, and they go, yeah, sure, here you go. There's a little clip it, of you at the show. There's those bits, yeah, and it's also great feedback as well, because it gave us a chance to ask people questions about how if they generally liked it or not, so we know what to do and not to do next time. So, yeah, I think the only thing we had was someone said more bins. Which is fair enough.
I'll give you my feedback. In a show that's promoting heat pumps, get some heat pumps that cool the place down, because it was absolutely boiling.
Everybody was in Valence store because they had one turned on. It was in front of the fan, weren't they? Did you go there?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, I'm so hot, just cooling off in front of it.
I think, I don't know if it was luck or judgment that the sun came out that day, and it was like a really hot day, and I think that venue, I just got the feeling that venue was like a winter venue, because it had heaters in it, and that was it.
Yeah, it's heaters, and then there was no openable windows, was there? I did see like the side doors get opened, to try and get a draft in.
So going back to the Fully Charged show, you were, well, it's not Fully Charged show anymore.
It's the Everything Electric
It's Everything
show
Electric, and you were at the Everything Electric event in Harrogate.
In Harrogate, yeah. So I went there
week.
for Midsummer. Went there for their stands, doing the solar marketplace, which is for homeowners to find installers in that area for solar. So we went there.
Was that a good event? It always seems to fall on a strange weekend for me. There's always something going on with the kids, even though it's only an hour or so away from me.
It was a good event. It was the first outdoor event I've been to of theirs, because usually they have indoor and outdoor. This is all outdoor, which was lovely on the first day. The second day, like the heavens opened.
I'm going to say weather dependent.
Yeah, and I'm a softy southerner, and I did not put up with that cold very well at all. I tell you that. I was like, oh. Yeah, it got me in my bones. It was cold.
So what was the day like? Was it a good mix of cars and tech, heat pumps and stuff?
Yeah, I would say it was more car heavy this time round.
But that's their
their main
original thing.
Yeah. So I would expect to see lots of electric cars, and there was loads of electric cars. Got to see a few of them. There was I've forgotten what it's called now. What's that big Tesla called? The
Cybertruck.
Yeah, he was down there. Yeah, I probably would get one of them if I'm honest.
A bit big and shiny.
Yeah, the build quality wasn't what I was expecting. If
was it not?
I do love Teslas. I really like Tesla, but I did not like that. I thought it was I don't know. I can't imagine it would lasting more than, if you owned it, I would say you'd maybe get 5-7 years out of it personally. But I'm not a big car person. I do like cars, but I'm not a mechanic. But to me, I was thinking 5-7 years.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and it did have some home tech in there. And they had the 11 energy sodium batteries, which I really love as well. They were there. They were absolutely rammed. I think was it Valent were there as well. I think the same guys who came to the heat pump show, so they were there as well. Yeah, there wasn't loads of home energy though. If I'm honest, it was very car heavy. They had a few other small stands. They had. Do you remember Robot Wars?
Yeah, Robert was.
Craig did the Robot Wars, didn't he? So it's so that was there. That was really fun to watch. Actual fighting of the robots. That was really cool. So he had like live commentary, which is really good. So that was really fun to watch. Yeah, but it was the first outdoor one. I think I preferred indoor outdoor, if I'm honest, than all outdoor. But it was up north.
I think cars outdoor are fine, but like tech and talks and things.
Yeah, because the talks were outside as well. It was under a hood. So I don't know if you've ever been to an Everything Electric show before, or Fully Charged show?
I've never.
No, so they used to have like two places to talk. There was like the mega stage and the giga stage.
Yeah.
But then they had the one stage this time, which was outdoors, which is about the same size as a mega stage used to be. If anyone knows what that's referencing to.
So will you be down at there's usually south one? Is it Farnborough? Or
the Farnborough's not. It's going to Cheltenham racecourses.
Right.
So I'll be at the Cheltenham one and the one in London. I think it's Twickenham. They'll be going out. I will not be driving to London. Thank you. I'll be getting a lift with somebody, hopefully.
Will you be at Installer Show? Is that
I'll be going to the Installer Show just as a guest. So
that
I'm
might
just
be
going to be
good then.
Yeah, because I want to have a look at stuff.
As somebody who has to run around talking to doing 40 interviews in a day with a cameraman, you might not get to see everything.
No, I don't. I only really get to see what I ask them, hey, what are you showcasing today? And they can tell me, but I don't really have enough time to really look at it myself. But going as just a civvy, I was to go around and have a good old look. So excited actually, because I didn't go last year. I went the year before, but not last year. So.
Yeah, I've been a couple of years running, and my wife just shakes her head going, what are you doing taking days off your real job to go to a heating show? And I'm like, it's great.
It's fun. You get lots of freebies as well, which I'm not sure how sustainable that is, but I'm still using the pencils I got 2 years ago. So.
Yeah, you come back with a big bag of swag. It's good.
Yeah.
Kids are like, what have you got, Dad? I'm like, got some packs.
I won a tool bag one year. That was amazing. I got a Makita tool bag. I was like, this is brilliant. Love that.
You sometimes see people, like the show's only been open 10 minutes on the first day, and they're walking around with a big roll of plastic piping on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And you're like, are you really going to carry that round all day?
Yeah, they will, because they wanted it. I want it, I got it, I'm keeping it on my shoulder. Yeah.
Brilliant. So will you be doing the Everything Electric show stuff with Midsummer? Is that going to be
I think they don't usually do it because Midsummer usually B2B, and this is more of a B2C. But this is a first B2C product they've brought out for the homeowners to obviously get their installers. So it's really cool actually. So it's a bit like if you've ever used Easy PV, but it's like maybe a simple down version for homeowners to use. So they can go on, put the postcode, it finds their roof, and it pre-populates everything for them. How many solar panels you can have on there. You can select battery sizes, inverters, and all that kind of stuff. And it pictures up on the house. They can see it, and they also get some prices as well. So they get some estimated prices from those installers in their area. So they only see the ones in their area and the estimated prices. So it's pretty good for the homeowner to get a quick.
Oh, and absolutely,
also, yeah. They don't have to put their details in either, which is amazing. So they don't have to go. This is joeblogs.com. That's my email address, and I live here. So they're not going to get any of those nonsense calls or nuisance calls
and stuff. Yeah,
it's up to them if they want to.
So there's like a low barrier to entry just to get a query. You don't, because as a customer you don't want to have to fill in tons of stuff to get a price or you just almost like you're just touching it ever so lightly, going, could I, maybe, should we, but you just need a little. Well, if it comes back at 18 grand, and you're going to go, maybe not then. If you just get that, or it might say that your roof is not. Without having to go, if you send us your email, then we email them to you. It just shows you straight away. And if you say, I'd love to have, Mr. Solar install them for me. So I'll click Mr. Solar, and then, yes, please have my details. And Mr. Solar's going to call me now, and he's going to let me know. He's going to come to my house on Tuesday or whatever, and have a look. Yeah. It must really help the installers as well, because then, in a way, this is fielding lots of tyre kickers and initial queries that the installer doesn't have to come out and do a site visit.
They've already said we reckon it's going to cost you 10 grand. That. They already know that. If it's too much, then there's no point calling the installer. They haven't wasted anyone's time. But if they think, that's my budget. I'd love to see if we can have that done. Then it's not wasted time.
And if people do click next and want to take that next step, it almost becomes a more valuable lead because it's got some substance behind it.
Yeah, someone's decided that they have selected them out of all the installs that came up. It's you I want to have come to my house to have a look at my system. And that's what the marketplace does. That's really good
cool.
for homeowners.
Excellent.
Nonsense calls.
Right. Well, I think we're just about out of time, so I think we'll wrap that up. And right before we went live, you said you were very worried about talking to camera, and I said I can't believe this because that's almost like your job.
Honestly, all morning I've been nervous. I'm like, oh my god. It's because you're talking about me, and like I said, I don't like compliments and stuff. I feel uncomfortable with compliments, and because it's asking me questions about my life. Usually, I'm asking people questions about technology or something, so it's easy. It's nothing to do with me. This is more awkward, but I've been okay. It's been fine. You've been very easy to talk to.
It's been amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for asking me to come on. It's been great.
It's been great. I'll catch up with you soon, Emily. Thank you very much.
All right. Cheers. Thanks, Mike. Bye-bye.